English Listening Podcast. TOEIC 900 points. Chapter 1. Paradigmatic Shifts in Contemporary Corporate Governance. The metamorphosis of corporate governance structures has precipitated fundamental recalibrations in organizational accountability mechanisms and fiduciary responsibility frameworks. Contemporary governance paradigms transcend traditional shareholder primacy models, embracing stakeholder capitalism principles that acknowledge the multifaceted interests of diverse constituency groups. This philosophical realignment necessitates sophisticated governance architectures that harmonize conflicting interests while maintaining operational efficacy and strategic coherence. Regulatory compliance landscapes have become increasingly labyrinthine, requiring organizations to navigate Byzantine regulatory frameworks across multiple jurisdictions simultaneously. The proliferation of extraterritorial legislation, such as the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and General Data Protection Regulation, has created complex compliance matrices that demand comprehensive risk assessment methodologies and proactive monitoring systems. Organizations must demonstrate not merely technical compliance, but substantive adherence to regulatory intent and spirit. Board composition dynamics have evolved toward greater diversity and specialization, reflecting the multidisciplinary expertise required for effective oversight in complex business environments. Independent directors with domain-specific knowledge in cybersecurity, environmental sustainability, and digital transformation now constitute integral components of board structures. This expertise diversification enhances strategic decision-making capabilities while mitigating risks associated with technological disruption and regulatory evolution. Shareholder activism has intensified significantly, with institutional investors leveraging sophisticated engagement strategies to influence corporate behavior and strategic direction. Proxy advisory firms wield considerable influence over voting outcomes, necessitating proactive investor relations strategies that anticipate concerns and preemptively address potential objections. Environmental, social, and governance considerations have become paramount in investment decision-making processes, fundamentally altering capital allocation dynamics. Executive compensation structures increasingly incorporate long-term performance metrics and sustainability indicators, reflecting stakeholder expectations for responsible corporate leadership. Clawback provisions, performance-based equity awards, and multi-year vesting schedules align executive incentives with sustainable value creation rather than short-term financial optimization. These compensation philosophies require sophisticated performance measurement systems that capture both quantitative and qualitative achievement dimensions. Chapter 2. Macroeconomic Intelligence and Strategic Financial Architecture. Macroeconomic volatility patterns have necessitated the development of sophisticated financial risk management frameworks that transcend traditional hedging methodologies. Organizations must synthesize disparate economic indicators, geopolitical developments, and monetary policy shifts to construct robust financial strategies capable of withstanding market turbulence. This analytical complexity requires advanced econometric modeling capabilities and scenario planning methodologies that account for nonlinear relationships and system-wide interdependencies. Capital structure optimization has evolved beyond conventional debt-equity ratios to encompass contingent capital instruments, hybrid securities, and alternative financing mechanisms. Organizations leverage sophisticated financial engineering techniques to create bespoke capital structures that optimize cost of capital while maintaining financial flexibility. These complex arrangements require deep understanding of tax implications, regulatory constraints, and market dynamics across multiple jurisdictions. Treasury management functions have transformed into strategic value creation centers that actively manage liquidity, foreign exchange exposure, and counterparty risks. Advanced cash management systems utilize artificial intelligence algorithms to optimize working capital efficiency while minimizing operational risks. Multicurrency, cash pooling arrangements, netting systems, and automated hedging strategies enable organizations to achieve unprecedented levels of financial efficiency. Investment portfolio construction increasingly incorporates alternative asset classes, private equity investments, and structured products that provide diversification benefits and enhanced risk-adjusted returns. Institutional asset allocation models utilize mean variance optimization techniques, factor-based investing strategies, and dynamic rebalancing algorithms to achieve superior portfolio performance. These sophisticated approaches require comprehensive due diligence processes and ongoing performance monitoring systems. Financial technology innovations continue to disrupt traditional banking relationships and payment systems, creating opportunities for disintermediation and cost reduction. Blockchain-based settlement systems, digital currencies, and decentralized finance protocols offer alternative mechanisms for conducting financial transactions and accessing capital markets. Organizations must carefully evaluate these emerging technologies while managing associated operational and regulatory risks. Corporate development activities, including mergers, acquisitions, and strategic partnerships, require sophisticated valuation methodologies and integration planning processes. Discounted cash flow models, comparable company analyses, and precedent transaction studies provide quantitative frameworks for investment decision-making. Post-acquisition integration success depends on cultural alignment, systems integration capabilities, and retention of key personnel across merged organizations. Chapter 3: Organizational Psychology and Advanced Human Capital Management. The paradigmatic evolution from human resources to human capital management reflects the strategic recognition of intellectual assets as primary value drivers in knowledge-intensive economies. Sophisticated talent management systems integrate predictive analytics, behavioral psychology principles, and organizational development theories to optimize human capital utilization. These comprehensive approaches require deep understanding of motivational psychology, cognitive biases, and social dynamics that influence individual and collective performance. Competency-based talent acquisition strategies utilize psychometric assessments, structured behavioral interviews, and simulation exercises to evaluate candidates across technical, cognitive, and interpersonal dimensions. Advanced screening methodologies incorporate cultural fit assessments, cognitive ability testing, and personality profiling to predict long-term performance and retention likelihood. These rigorous selection processes significantly improve hiring success rates while reducing turnover costs and performance variability. Employee engagement measurement has evolved beyond traditional satisfaction surveys to encompass comprehensive engagement indices that correlate with business performance metrics. Advanced analytics platforms identify engagement drivers, predict attrition risks, and recommend targeted interventions to enhance organizational commitment. These sophisticated systems enable proactive talent retention strategies that address individual needs while supporting collective organizational objectives. Leadership development programs increasingly emphasize emotional intelligence, cultural competency, and adaptive leadership capabilities required for managing diverse, geographically dispersed teams. Executive coaching initiatives utilize 360-degree feedback mechanisms, behavioral assessments, and experiential learning methodologies to accelerate leadership development. These comprehensive programs create leadership pipelines that support organizational succession planning and strategic continuity. Performance management systems have transitioned from annual review processes to continuous feedback mechanisms that provide real-time coaching and development opportunities. Objective setting frameworks incorporate both quantitative metrics and qualitative behavioral indicators that align individual contributions with organizational strategic priorities. These dynamic systems enable agile performance adjustments while maintaining accountability for results achievement. Organizational culture transformation initiatives require systematic approaches that address underlying assumptions, shared values, and behavioral norms that drive collective performance. Culture change programs utilize anthropological research methods, behavioral modification techniques, and communication strategies to reshape organizational identity. These comprehensive interventions create high-performance cultures that attract top talent while supporting innovation and adaptability. Chapter 4: Market Intelligence and Strategic Customer Experience Design. Market intelligence capabilities have evolved beyond traditional research methodologies to encompass real-time data synthesis, predictive modeling, and behavioral pattern recognition across multiple touchpoints and channels. Organizations leverage sophisticated analytics platforms that integrate demographic data, psychographic profiles, and behavioral indicators to construct comprehensive customer personas and journey maps. These analytical capabilities enable precision targeting strategies that maximize marketing efficiency while minimizing customer acquisition costs. Customer experience orchestration requires seamless integration across digital and physical touchpoints, creating cohesive brand experiences that transcend individual interaction channels. Omnichannel strategies utilize customer data platforms, marketing automation systems, and personalization engines to deliver consistent, relevant messaging throughout the customer lifecycle. These comprehensive approaches require sophisticated technology architectures and organizational alignment across multiple functional areas. Brand equity measurement encompasses both quantitative metrics and qualitative perceptual indicators that capture brand strength, differentiation, and customer loyalty dimensions. Advanced brand tracking studies utilize implicit association testing, neurological response measurement, and behavioral observation techniques to understand subconscious brand perceptions. These sophisticated measurement approaches provide deeper insights into brand performance than traditional survey methodologies. Competitive intelligence systems integrate market monitoring, patent analysis, and strategic assessment capabilities to provide comprehensive understanding of competitive dynamics and market evolution patterns. Sophisticated analytical frameworks identify competitive threats, market opportunities, and strategic vulnerabilities that inform defensive and offensive strategic options. These intelligence capabilities enable proactive strategic responses to competitive challenges and market disruptions. Price optimization strategies utilize dynamic pricing algorithms, demand elasticity modeling, and competitive response prediction to maximize revenue while maintaining market position. Advanced pricing systems incorporate inventory levels, seasonal patterns, and customer segmentation variables to determine optimal pricing strategies across product portfolios. These sophisticated approaches require comprehensive data integration and real-time analytical capabilities. Customer lifetime value modeling incorporates retention probability analysis, cross-selling propensity assessment, and profitability projections to guide customer acquisition and retention investment decisions. Predictive analytics platforms identify high-value customer segments while optimizing marketing spend allocation across acquisition and retention activities. These analytical capabilities enable customer-centric strategies that maximize long-term profitability rather than short-term transaction volume. Chapter 5: Advanced Operations Management and Supply Chain Resilience. Supply chain resilience engineering has emerged as a critical competency following widespread disruptions that exposed vulnerabilities in globally integrated production networks. Organizations now implement sophisticated risk assessment frameworks that evaluate supplier financial stability, geopolitical risks, natural disaster exposure, and operational dependencies across multi-tier supply networks. These comprehensive approaches require advanced modeling capabilities that simulate disruption scenarios and optimize contingency responses. Demand sensing technologies integrate point-of-sale data, social media sentiment, weather patterns, and economic indicators to generate accurate short-term demand forecasts that enable responsive supply chain adjustments. Machine learning algorithms continuously refine forecasting models by incorporating new data sources and identifying previously unrecognized demand drivers. These advanced forecasting capabilities reduce inventory carrying costs while improving customer service levels. Supplier relationship management strategies have evolved toward collaborative partnerships that emphasize innovation, sustainability, and mutual value creation rather than purely transactional cost optimization. Strategic supplier development programs provide technical assistance, financial support, and capability building initiatives that strengthen supplier performance and competitive differentiation. These collaborative approaches create sustainable competitive advantages through supply base innovation and resilience. Manufacturing optimization systems integrate Internet of Things sensors, artificial intelligence algorithms, and robotics technologies to create adaptive production environments that respond dynamically to demand variations and quality requirements. Predictive maintenance systems monitor equipment performance indicators to prevent unplanned downtime while optimizing maintenance costs. These technological integration efforts require comprehensive change management strategies and workforce skill development programs. Logistics network optimization utilizes advanced mathematical modeling techniques to determine optimal facility locations, transportation routes, and inventory positioning strategies across global distribution networks. Multi-objective optimization algorithms balance cost minimization with service level maximization while incorporating capacity constraints and regulatory requirements. These sophisticated planning tools enable organizations to achieve operational excellence while maintaining strategic flexibility. Quality management systems have evolved from defect detection to defect prevention through statistical process control, design for manufacturability principles, and supplier quality assurance programs. Six Sigma methodologies and lean manufacturing principles provide systematic frameworks for identifying and eliminating process variations that impact product quality and customer satisfaction. These comprehensive quality systems create sustainable competitive advantages through superior product performance and reliability. Chapter 6: Digital Innovation Ecosystem and Technological Convergence. Digital ecosystem orchestration requires sophisticated platform strategies that integrate internal capabilities with external partner networks to create comprehensive value propositions for customers. Platform business models leverage network effects, data synergies, and ecosystem complementarities to achieve scalable competitive advantages. These strategic approaches necessitate careful partner selection, ecosystem governance frameworks, and value-sharing mechanisms that align incentives across multiple stakeholders. Artificial intelligence implementation strategies encompass machine learning model development, natural language processing applications, and computer vision systems that augment human capabilities across diverse business functions. Organizations must develop AI governance frameworks that address ethical considerations, algorithmic bias, and transparency requirements while maximizing operational benefits. These implementation efforts require significant investment in data infrastructure, talent acquisition, and organizational change management. Blockchain technology applications extend beyond cryptocurrency to encompass supply chain traceability, smart contract automation, and decentralized identity management systems. Organizations evaluate blockchain implementations based on transparency requirements, trust enhancement opportunities, and disintermediation potential. These technological implementations require careful consideration of scalability limitations, energy consumption implications, and regulatory compliance requirements. Cybersecurity architecture has evolved from perimeter defense strategies to zero-trust security models that assume breach scenarios and implement continuous verification protocols. Advanced threat detection systems utilize behavioral analytics, artificial intelligence algorithms, and threat intelligence feeds to identify and respond to sophisticated cyber attacks. These comprehensive security frameworks require integration across technology infrastructure, business processes, and human behavior modification programs. Data architecture strategies encompass data lake implementations, real-time analytics platforms, and data governance frameworks that enable organizations to extract actionable insights from diverse data sources. Master data management systems ensure data quality, consistency, and accessibility across enterprise applications while maintaining privacy and security requirements. These data strategies require significant investment in technology infrastructure and specialized analytical capabilities. Innovation management systems create structured processes for identifying, evaluating, and commercializing emerging technologies and business model innovations. Corporate venture, capital programs, innovation labs, and external partnership strategies provide mechanisms for accessing startup innovations and emerging technologies. These innovation capabilities require cultural changes that encourage experimentation while managing associated risks and resource allocation decisions. Chapter 7: Agile Project Portfolio Management and Organizational Transformation. Portfolio management methodologies have evolved beyond traditional project selection criteria to encompass strategic alignment assessment, risk correlation analysis, and resource optimization across interdependent initiatives. Advanced portfolio management systems utilize Monte Carlo simulation techniques, real options valuation methods, and scenario planning frameworks to optimize project selection and resource allocation decisions. These sophisticated approaches enable organizations to maximize strategic value while managing portfolio risks and resource constraints. Agile transformation initiatives require comprehensive organizational redesign that encompasses governance structures, performance measurement systems, and cultural norms that support iterative development and continuous improvement. Scaled Agile frameworks provide structured approaches for implementing Agile methodologies across large, complex organizations while maintaining coordination and alignment. These transformation efforts require sustained leadership commitment and systematic change management strategies. Change management strategies have evolved to address the psychological and sociological dimensions of organizational transformation, incorporating behavioral economics principles and social network analysis to understand resistance patterns and influence mechanisms. Advanced change management approaches utilize stakeholder network mapping, influence pathway analysis, and targeted communication strategies to accelerate adoption and minimize disruption. These sophisticated methods require deep understanding of organizational dynamics and human psychology. Program management capabilities integrate multiple related projects to achieve strategic objectives that individual projects cannot accomplish independently. Program governance frameworks establish decision-making authorities, resource allocation mechanisms, and performance measurement systems that optimize collective outcomes rather than individual project success. These comprehensive approaches require sophisticated coordination mechanisms and stakeholder management strategies. Risk management frameworks have expanded beyond traditional risk registers to encompass enterprise risk management systems that integrate strategic, operational, financial, and compliance risks across organizational boundaries. Advanced risk assessment methodologies utilize predictive analytics, scenario modeling, and stress testing techniques to quantify risk exposure and optimize mitigation strategies. These comprehensive approaches enable organizations to make informed risk-return trade-offs while maintaining operational resilience. Performance measurement systems integrate balanced scorecard methodologies, key performance indicator frameworks, and outcome-based metrics that align project success with strategic value creation. Advanced measurement approaches utilize predictive analytics to identify leading indicators that enable proactive performance management and corrective action. These sophisticated systems provide transparency and accountability while supporting continuous improvement initiatives. Chapter 8: Global Market Integration and Cross-Cultural Business Intelligence. International market entry strategies require sophisticated analysis of regulatory environments, competitive landscapes, and cultural factors that influence business success across diverse global markets. Organizations must develop comprehensive country risk assessment frameworks that evaluate political stability, economic conditions, legal systems, and infrastructure capabilities. These analytical frameworks enable informed market selection decisions while optimizing resource allocation across international expansion initiatives. Cross-cultural competency development has become essential for organizations operating in multicultural environments, requiring deep understanding of communication styles, negotiation practices, and relationship-building approaches across different cultural contexts. Cultural intelligence assessment tools and cross-cultural training programs enable employees to navigate cultural differences effectively while building trust and rapport with international partners and customers. Global supply chain orchestration involves managing complex networks of suppliers, manufacturers, and distributors across multiple countries with varying regulatory requirements, quality standards, and operational capabilities. Organizations must develop sophisticated supplier qualification processes, quality assurance systems, and logistics coordination mechanisms that ensure consistent performance across global operations while managing geopolitical risks and trade restrictions. Foreign exchange risk management strategies encompass natural hedging techniques, financial instrument utilization, and operational adjustments that minimize currency exposure while preserving profit margins. Advanced hedging strategies utilize options, forwards, swaps, and exotic derivatives to create customized risk management solutions that align with specific business requirements and risk tolerance levels. International tax optimization requires comprehensive understanding of transfer pricing regulations, double taxation treaties, and multinational tax planning strategies that minimize global tax burden while maintaining compliance across multiple jurisdictions. Organizations must navigate increasingly complex international tax environments while managing reputational risks associated with aggressive tax planning strategies. Global talent management strategies address the challenges of recruiting, developing, and retaining employees across diverse cultural and regulatory environments. International assignment programs, local talent development initiatives, and cross-cultural leadership development programs create global talent pipelines that support international business expansion while building organizational capabilities. Chapter 9: Sustainable Value Creation and Stakeholder Capitalism Integration. Integrated reporting frameworks synthesize financial and non-financial performance metrics to provide comprehensive stakeholder communication that demonstrates sustainable value creation across multiple dimensions. These reporting approaches require sophisticated measurement systems that capture environmental, social, and governance performance while maintaining credibility and comparability across organizations and time periods. Circular economy business models challenge traditional linear production and consumption patterns by designing products and services that minimize waste and maximize resource utilization throughout their life cycle. Organizations implement sophisticated design thinking methodologies, life cycle assessment techniques, and stakeholder engagement processes to develop innovative business models that create value through resource efficiency and waste elimination. Impact measurement and management systems quantify social and environmental outcomes generated by business activities, enabling organizations to optimize positive impact while minimizing negative externalities. Theory of change frameworks, logic models, and impact assessment methodologies provide structured approaches for designing and evaluating programs that create shared value for business and society. Sustainable finance mechanisms, including green bonds, sustainability loans, and impact investing vehicles, provide access to capital for organizations demonstrating strong environmental, social, and governance performance. These financing alternatives require sophisticated reporting systems, third-party verification processes, and performance monitoring capabilities that demonstrate sustainable value creation to investors and stakeholders. Stakeholder engagement strategies encompass systematic approaches for identifying, prioritizing, and engaging diverse stakeholder groups in strategic decision-making processes. Materiality assessment methodologies, stakeholder mapping techniques, and engagement platform design enable organizations to understand stakeholder expectations while managing potentially conflicting interests across different constituency groups. Carbon accounting and climate risk management systems enable organizations to measure, monitor, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions while assessing climate-related risks and opportunities. Science-based target-setting methodologies, scenario analysis techniques, and climate risk disclosure frameworks provide structured approaches for integrating climate considerations into strategic planning and risk management processes. Chapter 10: Executive Leadership Excellence and Organizational Transcendence. Executive presence encompasses the combination of gravitas, communication effectiveness, and appearance that enables leaders to influence and inspire others across diverse organizational and cultural contexts. Leadership assessment methodologies evaluate emotional intelligence, cognitive complexity, and interpersonal effectiveness using sophisticated behavioral observation techniques and 360-degree feedback systems. These comprehensive evaluations identify development opportunities while building self-awareness and leadership effectiveness. Strategic thinking capabilities enable executives to synthesize complex information, identify patterns and relationships, and develop innovative solutions to organizational challenges. Advanced strategic thinking development programs utilize case study methodologies, simulation exercises, and action learning projects that build analytical capabilities while fostering creative problem-solving skills. These development approaches create leaders capable of navigating ambiguity and complexity while maintaining strategic focus. Board effectiveness evaluation encompasses governance process assessment, individual director performance evaluation, and collective board dynamics analysis. Sophisticated board evaluation methodologies utilize behavioral observation, peer feedback, and governance expert assessment to identify improvement opportunities while maintaining confidentiality and trust among board members. These evaluation processes enhance board oversight capabilities while supporting continuous governance improvement. Succession planning systems integrate talent identification, development planning, and readiness assessment processes that ensure organizational continuity and leadership pipeline strength. Advanced succession planning approaches utilize predictive analytics, competency modeling, and scenario planning techniques to optimize leadership development investments while managing succession risks across critical roles. Crisis leadership capabilities enable executives to navigate organizational challenges while maintaining stakeholder confidence and organizational resilience. Crisis management frameworks provide structured approaches for decision-making under pressure, stakeholder communication, and recovery planning that minimize negative impact while preserving organizational reputation and stakeholder trust. Organizational transformation leadership requires the ability to envision future states, build coalitions for change, and sustain momentum throughout complex transformation initiatives. Transformation leadership development programs integrate change management methodologies, stakeholder engagement strategies, and communication techniques that enable executives to lead successful organizational transformation while maintaining employee engagement and performance.